So this is the picture about the crew of the FANATY hardcore element, and about 80% of this of the lads are on this picture. When we made this picture, it was on a Sunday, and on a Saturday night, one of the lads was stabbed to death. He had a small fight. So a lot of guys didn't want to make the picture anymore, so don't stand on this picture. A lot of older guys are also not in the picture. So it had to be a great event because a lot of older and younger guys were together, but because of the death it was low profile. And this good guy died at the age of 27.
We cannot film the picture?
No. A lot of faces are in this picture, and I don't want to get in trouble for that.
Maybe I was too self-confident to decide to shoot a film about football fans in a strange country just for 10 days. Many people tried to talk me out of this because it was difficult to get into hardcore supporting sphere. After all, it was just dangerous. In spite of this, I wanted to understand why, in a well-off little country with the most liberal laws, a country that became home for people of different races and nationalities, people could kill each other out of love for the same game.
Die valt even.
Τώρα δεν το πιστεύεις, γιατί με πάει. And he's the national coach of Greece till the age of 14. So he came all the way, and yesterday he had an accident, he fell down. Oké, oké.
Ik 2 uur hè, vanmiddag.
Wat zegt u?
2 uur.
2 uur, beginnen ze, denk ik. Half 2 zullen wij sowieso daar zijn.
Ja, ik moet nog even
2 uur.
doen, maar ik kom terug. Ik kom het zien.
En Anastasiou komt ook om ons te zien en te praten. So when James was a little boy at the age of 2, he was having a ball. Even when he would go to bed, he would like to sleep with the ball. So at the age of 4, he was trying to become a player in a team where the rest were 6 or 8 or even more. So all the t-shirts and the sort of team clothes in general wouldn't pass because they were much bigger. But anyway, at the age of 4, he went to a local team, and everybody was fascinated, not because he was a good player. People saw immediately the willingness and the will he had, the power to play football. Hoeveel? Everybody was really surprised that a little boy of 5 could see in the field where to shoot the ball, where to pass the ball, what to do with the ball and the rest of the players. So after a while, his trainer in Greece told me that this fellow is very exceptional and he has to do something bigger than and more serious than what he's doing in Greece. Where to go? Do we have to stay in Greece, or can we afford to go abroad and play for a very famous team like Ajax? Of course, James, being half Greek and half Dutch, he would prefer to play for the best team in Holland. Which is the best team? Is Ajax.
I refuse to dilute juice for you fools. Pop one in your brain, dance.
If you say hooligan, everybody says, oh, they're just criminals, they're mindless people, they don't have jobs, they're using drugs. That's what most people think about a hooligan, a big skinhead or something like that. But that's not really it. If you see it like me, I just have a job, I have a girlfriend, I'm from a normal family, I don't use drugs. 99% of the time I'm just a normal guy and I can talk normal, but at match days it's different. I don't know why, and I can explain. It's there. It's just the adrenaline, the pumping in your body, the rush. That's just the main part of being a hooligan. If you are there with friends and people think the same about this, you're standing and you only want to fight people who think the same. You don't want to fight people from PSV who are wearing scarves or wearing shirts. You don't want to fight them. You want to fight the guys who think the same as you, only support PSV or any club in Holland or in somewhere else in the world. That's why most people don't like the media, because the media always make the same. They let you think the same thing about being a very, say hooligan. A hooligan is also a bit strange word. Fanatic supporter.
So it was an easy game. Wasn't that all that atmospheric?
Waar gaat het over?
Gewoon over Ajax, meer niet.
Waarom dan?
Waarom dan? Het gaat niet over supporters, niks dus.
Zo, de erop man. Wat zijn jullie aan het doen?
English, please.
Ah, back man. Waar gaat het over dan?
Waar
gaat het over dan?
Het gaat nergens over.
Waar gaat het over dan?
Gewoon over het belevenis van de Ajax-wedstrijd, meer niet. Ik zit niet te lullen over het supporters home of whatever.
Nee man.
Dus.
Nee, niet doen man. Ga gewoon weg man. Ja man, gewoon weggaan nu.
Can you speak English, please?
Ja.
Jij
Fout met camera. Ga je uit. Nou, loslaten.
Maak een doelpunt, Sierra! Maak een doelpunt! Maak een doelpunt, de doelen doen ook mee! Maak een doelpunt!
I think I suppose Ajax at the age of 8, when Johan Cruyff was playing in Ajax and they were the best team in the world. I remember one final game against Milan, which Ajax won 4-1. So everybody was so excited about this game, and I think more or less 100% of the Greeks were for Ajax. So at that age I became Ajax myself, and this feeling could have helped me, I don't know, in order to approach my wife too. When I met my wife and she told me that she was Dutch, I had a very good feeling, because she was Dutch, because she was something that I knew. You know, football puts people together in a way. It's an easy thing to understand, football, you know, and it gives you pleasure.
And there's no way you can make appointments or you can make something to try to talk normal. It's not possible. Maybe it's going good for 3 minutes, but after that they're gonna fight each other. The hate is too much because there's someone who's killed Carlo Picconi.
Two Greeks, as I told you. They've been good football players for Ajax, Machlas and Anastasiou, so it's a good opportunity to get a third one, which is going to be my son, no?
It's maybe sad. It's become too big and too difficult. It's just a hate between those clubs, and it's go really, really deep. Ajax is the most biggest club in Holland, with success. They all won the Champions League, blah blah blah, and this year they're gonna win the league again. So we think they are arrogant, you know. Well, we're always the best, and blah blah. They are the best with football. So we try to be different and better in other way with our support, and I think that's how the hate is grew, because Feyenoord and Ajax are the biggest hooligan groups in Holland. So now you're with the Feyenoord Stadium. It's a really old stadium. It's rebuilt in the last 2 years. They make this pipe. Now it's a lot safer for the away supporters, and there will be almost no problems anymore. So the trains will arrive, and the supporters will go directly in this pipe. And from this pipe, they walk straight to the visitors section. Before this pipe was built, the away supporters had to go to the fence over there. So all the Feyenoord supporters were standing here. And a lot of violence was happening back then. I can remember a fight with Manchester United. The hooligans were deported on bus. They were driving around along here, so we all run. So that's where the buses stopped, and we attacked that. Yeah, they tried to get out the bus. They kicked the doors open, and we running to the buses, and that's shouting, you know, like Rotterdam hooligans. Within a minute, few seconds of fighting, and sometimes there's no chance to fight because the police is already on the case.
James, wat ben je al aan het doen? Weet ik wel.
En hoe lang speel je al voetbal, James?
Weet ik niet.
Nee?
Papa, hoe lang speel
Hoeveel
je
jaar?
al voetbal?
If James is not chosen, I would never go to another team. What I would do, and his trainer too, is work harder and come back next year. Because I don't believe that James would accept any other team in his life. Now he's Ajax and he loves that. So he wouldn't like to go and play for a team because of having a career. I think this is more or less linked together with the name. It hasn't got anything to do with a career in another team which is not as famous as Ajax. Otherwise he would be having a career in Greece easily because everybody wants him to be down there. So I don't wish and I don't believe either that James would be out of the selection.
Ja.
He will be selected.
Wat ben je? Ben je een spits of een doelman of rechtsvoor?
Spits.
He will be selected.
Spits.
when there's a war, all the hooligan part will be on front in fighting. The love of the terraces, just a brand of, because this looked like an army badge. And if you see 100 guys with this, it looked like a real army. In Italy, in Belgium, in France, everywhere in the world is gonna wear Stone Island, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. Burberry said, oh no, we don't want to have things to do with a hardcore element, so they start selling the Burberry caps. They don't sell them anymore because of a lot of hooligans were wearing these caps, and when they show on the TV, you saw all the Burberry caps and say, oh no, no Burberry. All expensive designer clothing, it's just a part of subculture. Also police nowadays knows 90% of the guys wearing this is hardcore. But this is the real brand of the terraces. So this is also part of being a support. It's not always fighting and kick some asses, it's also fun. And yeah, I'm not only fighting, but I like this as well. I think this is beautiful with all the candles, and because I have the feeling when we win the final and the tears were over my eyes, so when I see that I can still feel the cold rush in my head, you know, the feeling of winning something big. So when I see this, I'm being proud I was part of the tour to the final. Okay, I can show you that I have a normal life. This is me and my girlfriend on holiday. I'm not totally stupid, I'm not totally drunk, I'm not using drugs. I'm just a normal guy, I have a normal life, only on match days. I can be crazy when I have to be crazy. She didn't like it.
But she knows it, yeah?
Not really. Not really.
A knife is made to cut bread. If you use the knife to kill somebody, that doesn't mean that the knife is bad. It means that you are stupid. Some vandals, some barbarians, some crazy supporters, they produce problems. Football is a nice sport because my son now is selected by Ajax and I love it. The oldest one has been crying for about 2 weeks, saying why God wouldn't make me as talented as James, but he's talented in other things. I mean, he speaks 4 languages, he's very intelligent, he plays football for his football team and he's the best. But not good enough for Ajax, because I think Ajax only takes the best of the best. And then I have a daughter, and he's also following Ajax business. And then I have another son, younger than James, and if I see that he's a talent, he has to come.
Nog eventjes naar de camera. Maradona. Ja. James, kom mee!
Maar denk je dat je uitgekozen wordt, James?
Wat?
Denk je dat... Je denkt
Maar
het
ik
niet.
heb wel 2 passen gegeven. En doelpunt gemaakt. Dus ik heb wel gewonnen. Ja, heel erg. Kijk de bal. Ah, kom op, snel! Ja, scoren, zie je dat?
You have to create some things which take some energy, okay? But I'm very willing to do that because everybody would love watching James in Ajax, you know, later on. And everybody's going to help also. So, wait and we'll see next week.
We're proud of our city, and because it's totally different from Amsterdam. We've got all new buildings, and that's because of the bombings in the Second World War. Yeah, you feel more aggressive because they always win and they always have the success. And we always are not that lucky. When you start to support Feyenoord, at the same time you start to hate Ajax. There's a dead body between the boats. There's one of the famous spots in Rotterdam. Also when another club is coming here, and it's easy to cut the entrance. So this is a pretty safe spot for away supporters, so they can't be attacked by Feyenoord supporters. So across the street something happened, there's a dead body in the water, maybe it's some extra action live from Rotterdam. If Ajax comes, they should bring about 150 at least. They bring more because there's so big rivalry, and if they come, they'll bring a lot of weapons. And we have a lot of weapons as well, because that's just the situation how it is. Because there's one murdered, they want to have payback. At home we have 250, I think. Maybe more, it depends on if the old guys will appear. Yeah, I don't know, it's between 200 and 400. There were rules, but after Beverwijk, a lot of rules are gone, I think. Before Beverwijk there were weapons, there's no doubt about it. I always take a belt with me, but I only take that when I see that 20 guys are around me. I think it's much cooler when you kick somebody to the ground with your fist. When I personally see somebody on the ground, for me it's over. A big battle between Feyenoord and Ajax after Beverwijk never happened, but it will in the future probably. The feeling is still there, and if the feeling is to get a bit more weak or whatever, I try to stop. And when my girlfriend says, "Hey, I'm pregnant," I try to be more careful. Finally, I will stop. But I don't know. I cannot say it's in 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years, but I will stop definitely, because I would just want to support normal to be a normal fan supporter.
Beschrijf je liefde. Een en een i.
Doe maar hoe dat je denkt dat je het schrijft.
Ik weet het niet.
Met een hu,
Ja?
een i.
Ja?
Nou, is dit jouw handtekening?
Ja.
Waar?
If I have some, yeah. Good question. I cannot say don't do it because I did it. I only say be careful. It's not fair to say you don't do it and I forbid you to go there, but I tell him you have to be fair and always be gentle in the fight. And, respect the rules.
James. Zou je dat er wel door voorover houden?
Denk ik niet.
Denk het niet. Dus wil je liever in Griekenland blijven wonen dan?
Ja, daar doe ik geen school en ik weet niet zoveel van Nederland.
Wie is je favoriete voetbalplayer?
Hier is een handtekening
Oké.
van Anastasie.
Oké, je moet nou gaan weer, hè?
Ja.
Naar huis?
Ja.
Naar Athene.
moeten niet ruzie maken. Ze kunnen niet tegen hun verlies. Ja, die ene keer kan je maar gespeeld. Ajax. Maar ze kunnen niet tegen verlies. Zij de we hebben gewonnen. 8-1. Nee, dat het wij hebben gewonnen. Nee.
En wat vind je ervan dan dat supporters met elkaar vechten?
Ja, dat is toch. We winnen altijd, jongen. Ja, toch. Hou op. Doe, stop.
Achteruit.
Hou op, klaar. Wie zijn bekken niet haalt, klaar. Vrooien.
Hij kan ruzie maken. Hoeveel?
Nee, niks aan. Ze moet gewoon rustig blijven. Ze moeten wel is er echt risico. Want als ze ruzie maken of eentje slaat elkaar dood of zo, dan hebben ze met de politie te maken. Ja, en dan komt ze brengen niks rammen. Waarom? Met vechten, met agressie los je niks op. Je moet gewoon rustig, respect voor elkaar hebben. Gewoon rustig. Als Ajax wint, zegt hij, hey, sorry, goed gespeeld. Jullie hebben gewonnen, eerlijk gewonnen. Maar niet, hij flikker rot op mij. Nee, Ajax-supporters zijn niks. Zijn soort broeders, soort voetballers met elkaar. Ja!